Chris O'Neill's big step to move to Sweden without problems with Magdalena of Sweden and her children. Although the family's move has been delayed to 2024, Chris O'Neill has done his homework and already has the nationality that allows him to live on Swedish soil without visa problems. The Swedish Royal House surprised in March 2023 when it announced that Magdalena of Sweden, Chris O'Neill and their children would move to Stockholm permanently. Thus, after 5 years living in Miami, the family was settling in Sweden, which attracted attention due to the fact that at the time it was explained that the choice to live in the United States was due to Chris O'Neill's business. In addition, the financier does not speak Swedish. Time went by, and while the couple was looking for schools for Princess Leonore, Prince Nicolas and Princess Adrienne were trying to sell the house in Pinecrest where they have been living. Weeks went by and they were unable to find a buyer, which was undoubtedly a concern for Magdalena of Sweden and Chris O'Neill, who hoped to be able to settle in Stockholm with liquidity, financial peace of mind and without the headache of having the house unsold. And if the decision to move was a surprise, it was also surprising when Expressen announced that the family has decided to wait longer before leaving Miami for good. The information was confirmed by the Director of Communication of the Swedish royal family, Margareta Thorgren, who pointed out that in a move there are many things to take into account, things that have taken longer than expected. Therefore, they have decided not to rush and wait until 2024 to move to Sweden, without specifying a more specific date. The reason is not a migration issue, the sale of the house, or anything like that. It is simply that the time for the family with all that a move entails has become a little short, he added, also confirming that the 3 children of Magdalena of Sweden and Chris O'Neill start the school year 2023/2024 in the United States. Chris O'Neill is German again. With regard to migration, there could be problems with Chris O'Neill. The financier had US and British nationality, so he had to go through procedures to live in Sweden despite the fact that being married to a Swedish woman would make everything easier. Before Brexit, there would have been no problem, but when the free movement between the United Kingdom and the countries of the European Union ended, Chris O'Neill had to implement another plan. As the above-mentioned media reports with information from the Director of Communication of the Swedish Royal Household, Chris O'Neill applied for a German passport through the German embassy in Stockholm, which was granted. Thus, he has achieved German nationality, which allows him to reside freely in Sweden. Chris O'Neill was entitled to 3 nationalities. He got the American one from his father and the British one by birth when he came into the world in London. In addition, he could have obtained German through his mother, which took him a couple of years to achieve. However, when Germany prevented its citizens from having multiple nationalities, Chris O'Neill did not renew his citizenship, thinking it was not necessary and that he preferred to be British and American rather than German. Once Germany removed that rule and the husband of Magdalena of Sweden has needed to have a passport from a European Union country, he did not hesitate to reapply for what he is entitled to. This important step shows that the decision to move to Sweden is delayed, but Magdalena of Sweden and Chris O'Neill will indeed end up living in Stockholm with their children.